welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Kush,
I'm Alex.
and today reviewing Gang Signs and Prayers by Stormzy. So Stormzy is just one. He's one of the newer grime artists that had a lot of hype around him ever since like grime started getting larger with the release of like Wiley and Skepta. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that Stormzy is a good rapper when he's rapping. But this album has a lot of things that I didn't enjoy, including like some of the more gospel-esque songs. And
Yeah.
I feel like even when he's rapping, his beats aren't as interesting as someone like as Wiley or uh, Skepta has. I think that he does have good beats and he is lyrically talented. I think, and for a debut album, this is good. But I think there are just some kinks that I'm not really too fond of.
Yeah. So this album wasn't what I was expecting. Like, I've heard Skepta's Konnichiwa album, and that's basically straight grime the whole way through, banner after banner after banner. Basically, I've not heard Wiley's album. Is that any good, Kush?
I would recommend it if you like grime music. I'd recommend it.
Okay, I'll listen to that later on my wish list. But this album wasn't what I was expecting. Unlike Skepta and Wiley, I presume, this is an album of two halves, and that the Gan signs part of the title are all the exciting, fast-paced grime rap songs that people are wanting to hear on this. And Prayer are like the semi-gospel contemporary R&B songs that seem to take up most of this album when you're listening to it. Especially feels like that in the middle of the album.
Yeah, they
The
were
thing is,
long
though, I don't mind.
songs.
Yeah, some of them. I don't mind most of these because R&B slash soul is probably my favorite music genre, which is kind of hard for me to justify. It just hits me in a way that a lot of other music doesn't to quite the same level. For some reason, I don't know. I'm mainly talking the 70s classic funky soul stuff. That's the real stuff. But this is not the real stuff, but it has enough elements to that the slower rap songs are, they're nice enough. And the thing is, I don't think he is good enough to maintain a whole grime album quite yet. He's really skilled and he can go really fast, but this definitely goes to two very different extremes. And he's not like Drake or Kanye where he can get away with crisscrossing easier. So yeah, despite this, I thought this was still pretty good overall.
Yeah, I enjoyed him rapping. I think my favorite song was 100 Bags, where he's talking about his mom, uh,
Yeah.
and his mom working for him. I think that it was just a really, really deep and emotional song. I think that's when he sings best. Uh, the only problem, I hate him. The chipmunk vocals were in the background again. Uh,
Oh no, not
but
those.
they didn't bother me as much as they normally do because they weren't like up front and in your face. I think they were in the back so I could avoid them if I wanted to. And the song, there's a couple songs I did not like. I think the song with Kalani was not that great. Uh, I felt like that one was repetitive, boring, and so long. It was like 6 minutes, something like that. It was so long. Uh,
Was that the cigarettes and Kush one?
yeah, Cigarettes and Kush.
Yeah.
Uh,
Lily Allen's on that as well, and she like adds nothing. Just some really bad background vocals. Or I don't know. Maybe she did some verses, but I do not know why he got Lily Allen and Kalani. It's like and himself. That's like just three random people.
but I did like the Blinded by a Grace part 1 and part 2. I thought they were both
I,
really
I
good.
liked part two more.
Yeah, I
I
liked
liked
it
part
too.
two more.
I liked it more, but I thought both of them were actually pretty good. There's also First Things First was the opener was absolutely solid. The beat was fire. The pacing was just a little
Yeah.
skewed, a little odd, but I think that maybe I'm not used to the UK rap yet. It's kind of odd for me to listen to because they have the accent for me. But I think that it was a solid opener, just a fantastic song to start off with. But then it does kind of go in and out of good and bad songs for me.
Yeah. Even I am obviously from the UK, but I'm from Scotland, and this is primarily London based, which is still quite a few. Like it's still like 8 hour drive to get to London from where I am, so it's still quite a few cultures away. Even though I do generally get it from TV media. The one that I really, really stuck with me was Big for Your Boots. This is a number 10 hit in the UK singles chart. and I can see why. He does have the female chipmunk sample vocals. He does have those, which is like a dead ringer for having a hit single these days. But I think he uses it in a pretty good way, like a really catchy way that is not annoying for
Yeah,
some reason.
yeah. I wrote in my thing. I started off saying like he's not as like grimy and intricate as Wiley, but it's still pretty decent. And then I go, wow, this chorus is super catchy. Wow, this rhyme scheme is pretty fucking crazy. And then at the end, it's like I just fuck with this shit real heavy. I love that song.
Oh no! Wow, getting pretty urban with those notes there.
Yeah.
But this type of fast-rapped, extreme fast-paced rap song is the type I'm really happy to see becoming really commercially viable again. I don't think it'll be a hit in the US because it's still really UK based. So I really enjoyed looking into the meaning of this song. Because Big for Your Boots, do you understand what this song's about, Kush? Like, fully?
I'm assuming it's like I'm not exactly familiar with it, but I feel like I have the general meaning down.
Yeah, this is a song where there's a little bit more going on and it's harder to decipher lyrically than it seems on the surface. But it's basically the same agenda as like Jenny from the Block by Jennifer Lopez. You can never be too big a star to be too good for the things that you were before you became famous, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's probably not the official explanation, but that's what I got from it anyway. Yeah. So basically all the grime songs on here are really solid, I'd have to say. So much so that I don't have much to say about them. Like, you have Shut Up, which was his breakout song. It actually sounds like he really wants people to shut up, which is
I didn't enjoy that song as much.
It is a bit earlier for him. This is actually recorded like 2014-15.
Okay.
But it does actually make him sound like he wants people to shut up, which is, if you have a song called that, you probably should. Unlike the Black Eyed Peas one.
So yeah, the song that 21 Gun Salute, he's spitting really well on that song, and he's really good at with the beat, and the minimal beat really complements his voice. Problem is that he's not saying anything worthwhile, so it just kind of sounds boring and annoying at some points.
Yeah. So what was your general thoughts on all of the soul R&B songs? Like, what did you really think they were good or bad?
I felt a mix. So they had good aspects to them, but they all felt way too long, and they all dragged for me. And when I'm listening to a grime album, I want to listen to just banger after banger, just someone going in on a heavy beat. And I appreciate some of them, that the gospel, but I feel like it almost took up so much time on the whole album, because the actual rap songs are short, and these are the longest songs in the rest of the album, because they're like 5 or 6 minutes long.
Yeah, so it definitely feels like it outweighs the grime songs in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two songs I want to talk about in depth before we wrap up, unless you have more to say.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Cry For Me, right? This is another R&B one, okay? But this is the most intriguing part of this song was the featured artist, Riley Ritchie, is AKA is Jacob Anderson, who plays Grey Worm on Game of Thrones. If you're familiar with that show.
Yeah, wow, that's weird.
But whenever you know that actors have a career outside of acting in music, you never usually to hear about it or hear it because it's never that good. If you know what I mean, like how many people have heard Scarlett Johansson's album? Maybe a few who are like a bit curious, but it's never going to be anyone's favorite album. So I was really happy to have a chance to listen to him because I've always been kind of meaning to, but since he was a featured artist on here, I really got to hear him. And I have to say, I really like his performance style. He's actually really good with dynamic emotions on the hook. A really solid performance. And this is actually like a really lyrically jives with me because it's how disillusioned he is with life in the hood in London and how the good times of his past are mixed with so many bad things. Imagine that. You look back to your teenage years, probably some people think that's the best years of your life, but his are mixed with bad and good parts about being in trouble with the police and like has seen his friends get arrested and getting peer pressured into becoming a drug dealer. He has to look back on his life with so much bittersweet emotions, you know.
Yeah,
like he can't look back
completely.
on his teenage years.
I thought that was a good song. I just feel like it didn't. The album in individual songs was really good. It didn't flow as a complete coherent album though. That was my biggest problem with it.
Yeah, but I think the R&B songs, I think we're overreact. Well, maybe I'm overreacting about how bad they were. It was a bit out of left field, a bit unexpected, but I think out of context of a grime album, they're pretty nice, really, but not that good. But kind of nice efforts.
Yeah. The outro was really good. I like the outro. He talks about how he hates himself and talks about these weird things that people like depression and things that like people talk about in normal songs. My only problem with that song is the intro and outro take up 2 minutes of that song. The intro's a minute and the outro's a minute. And
their piano as well.
Oh no! Oh no!
I also like the crazy, the crazy Titch interlude. When he's talking to this crazy Titch guy. That's just a phone call with him. That was really funny. That's like one of the best interludes I've heard in a hip hop album for a while. Just this crazy Titch guy talking. It makes the ones on Eminem albums seem really like juvenile. I know those have their place, but more like this, please.
Yeah. Well, what would you rate it, Alex?
Now, the grime songs are all really solid, banner after banner. The R&B songs were pretty reasonable, I'd say, but still a far lower quality level. And just the sequencing on this album was completely dead. Like, I'd actually prefer if all the grime songs were together, and then the R&B ones, even though a lot of people would probably switch off. All the grime fans probably thinking it's the worst grime album ever. But I don't think that. I think this is pretty solid. I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10.
So for me, I feel like he has a lot going for him, especially for a debut record. I think it's pretty good. He does have to kind of like clean up some of these songs, figure out like what he needs to and what he needs to keep, because he could have removed 2 songs on here, I think, easily.
Really?
I think that there are some problems with this, like I guess you could say sequencing, like some they don't flow really well, and it doesn't feel like a coherent album, because like I think "Shut Up" should have been the first song on this record. I think because "Shut Up" is talking about how
maybe.
like his introduction to grime, people don't like believe in him, and he spits these bars, and they're like, and he's like, now shut up, I'm just as valid as you guys are, and I think that would have been a really good opening for a track, and I don't understand why he put it in the end of the album. But regardless, I think he does have a good flow. He has good rhyme patterns. He has a good voice, and he has a good concept where he's going. So I think I'm also gonna give this a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, we kind of liked it. Yeah.
Well, if that's it, then thanks for tuning to Bus Speakers. If you enjoyed this, then please check out some of our other reviews, like and subscribe, and check us out on social media.